Good day, my dear learners. My name is Teacher Shira, and for today, we are going to have a lesson in English, first quarter, Module 1, with the topic Figurative Language and Sound Devices. The first lesson that we will be having are the different types of sound devices. Before we begin the discussion, let us see what you already know from the topic that we have by answering these quick questions as a review. Number 1. Which figurative language compares two very different things using the words like or as? Is it A. Metaphor, B. Hyperbole, or C. Simile? I am giving you 5 seconds to think for an answer. The correct answer is letter C, simile. Simile is a figurative language that compares two very different things using the words like or as. For example, as beautiful as the rainbow. Number 2. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper is an example of what sound devices? Is it letter A, assonance, B, alliteration, or C, consonants? Once again, I'm giving you 5 seconds to think for an answer. The correct answer is letter B, alliteration. If you got all the questions correct, congratulations! For this lesson, we are going to have a listening activity. But before that, let us have some unlocking of difficulties for us to understand the poem even more. The first word that we have here is the word jungle. Jungle means forest where wild animals live. The example sentence here is, wild animals live in the jungle. Can you think of your own example sentence using the word jungle? The next word that we have here is the word crazy. Crazy means silly or fool. The example sentence is, be careful with crazy people for they might hurt you. Once again, think of your own sentence using the word crazy. The next word that we have here is the word cubs. Cubs are taxis used for transportation. The example sentence here is, I love to ride in an air-conditioned cub. Think of your own sentence using the word cubs. And the last word that we have here is the word chaos. Chaos means causing some commotion or something bad is about to happen or is already happening. The example sentence here is, the volcanic eruption will cause chaos in our lands. Think of your own sentence using the word chaos. Have you been in New York City? Do you know where New York City is located? At this moment, we are going to start our listening activity. I am going to read it first, and afterwards, I'm going to give you enough time to read it on your own. New York City. New York City is like a jungle. No, it is a jungle. It is always jumping with excitement. Because of the noise, half the city is deaf. Still, The city cares about its crazy customers' brands, lights, cabs, style. It's all there. This city is great, always something to do. Beep, beep, get out of the way. When I arrived in New York, I was ready for chaos. Instead, I found rhythm. By Carmelo. At this moment, read it on your own. If you're done, let's proceed. Try to answer the following questions on your own. What is the title of the poem? How will you describe the city of New York? Do you want to live in New York City? Why or why not? As you have listened and read the poem New York City, are you able to identify the sound devices used in the poem? Let us discuss. What are sound devices? Are sounds important in conveying ideas? How is it helpful? Sound devices are resources used by the poets to convey and reinforce the meaning or experience of poetry through the skillful use of sound. The words and their order should evoke images, and the words themselves have sounds which can reinforce or otherwise clarify those images. All in all, the poet is trying to make you understand the poem by the use or skillful use of the sounds. Let us discuss. What are the different types of sound devices? Actually, we have more types of sound devices, but for the sake of this topic, we are particularly going to discuss the four most common types of sound devices. First, we have onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is the naming of a thing or action by the vocal imitation of the sound associated with it. For example, we have here the chirp, chirp, chirp of the wounded bird broke the silence. Chirp is the sound made by the bird. Another example is the sound associated with the telephone. We have kring, kring. And the sound associated with the bell is clang, clang. So that is what we call onomatopoeia. Next, we have here alliteration. Alliteration is another sound device which is the repetition of a consonant sound at the beginning of a word. For example here, Sally sells seashells in the seashore. The repeated consonant at the beginning of the word is letter S. Sally sells seashells in the seashore. A while ago, we have the example, Peter Piper picked a pickled pepper. That is another example of alliteration. Next, we have assonance. Assonance is a sound device which is the repetition of the same vowel sound either at the beginning of words or inside the words itself. In an example that we hear, May lay near the bay and stayed awake. The repeated vowel is letter A. May lay near bay stayed awake. So that is what we call assonance. And lastly, we have here consonants. Consonants is the repetition of consonant sounds and the stressed syllables but with different vowel sounds within or at the end of the line. For example, boat and night, cool and soul. In this example, we have the consonant T at the end of the words boat, night, and the consonant L at the end of the words cool and soul. So that is what we call consonants. Are you able to understand the lesson for today? Let us have a quick assessment. I have here two examples of a
part of a precept of a poem, and you are going to identify if it is alliteration, assonance, consonants, or onomatopoeia. The first example we have here, sizzle, sizzle, the water sizzles above the fire. Is it alliteration, assonance, consonants, or onomatopoeia? 5 seconds to answer. The correct answer is letter D. It is onomatopoeia. Why is it onomatopoeia? Because sizzle, sizzle is the sound made by the water. Next question. We have, I love to ride a boat at night. I love to ride a boat at night. 5 seconds to choose from this set of choices. Alliteration, assonance, consonants, onomatopoeia. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The correct answer is consonants. Why is it consonants? Because of the word boat at night, where there is a repetition of the consonant T. Boat at night. If you are able to get all the questions correctly, very good. If you don't, then you can always go back to this video. Thank you and God bless.